Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of The Fad Show. So on this week's episode, it's going to be my more or less 6-month update of my Mark IV TDI Wagon. So exactly as I expected, I've absolutely loved every single day I've had this car for the last 6 months. For those of you that didn't see my first video, this is the third one of these that I've had, and it's by far the most mechanically sorted of any of them. And yeah, it's just been an absolute pleasure to drive this car every day. I still hold that this probably is, if you can handle the 20-year-old German quirkiness, is the best daily driver car, just due to the sheer absolute joy of character this car has, and then the fun to drive nature, and then also just the efficiency as a daily driver, being a diesel that I can get if I drive properly up to 50 miles to the gallon with this thing. So hope you like this episode. So the Mark IV Volkswagen platform was made from 1997 all the way until 2006, and it even continued production in Central and Southern America all the way until 2010. And it's amazing how many different cars were based on this platform. Here in the United States, we had this car, the Jetta. We also had the Golf, the new Beetle, the Audi A3, the Audi TT, and then overseas there was even more combinations with these, with all the Skoda and seat lineup, as well as even the Volkswagen Caddy van over there. So it's pretty impressive how many different cars have shared this platform, and it's like the Mark IV platform was a precursor to the new Mark VII MQB platform that underlines so many different Volkswagen cars. It still amazes me how many of these you see on the road today, both here in the United States, especially where I live in the South. There's plenty of these still on the road. I know they do have some rust issues up north, and then also when I travel overseas in Europe, there's tons of these still on the road, even more so than here. So I think this is just a testament to how well built these cars are, and then also how much people like to drive them. Like I said in the intro, I think if you can handle the 20-year-old German quirkiness, then there's probably no better daily driver car than this. I remember when I was little watching an early episode of Top Gear, and Jeremy Clarkson absolutely shit all over this car, which I find it kind of surprising. When I first got my first one of these, really I just got it because of I know it was known for good reliability and fuel economy. It's the only reason I got it, and then I just kind of fell in love with the character and fun to drive nature of it. So it kind of surprised me looking back on that episode to why he hated this car so much. I guess he was driving the GTI form of it, and he said it was slow and lacked character in comparison to the Mark I and Mark II GTIs, which maybe that's true. I've honestly never driven a Mark IV GTI, but I think the TDI is the one that they're well known for. Both the TDI and the R32 I think are holding their value really well and really desirable. Actually, the R32 is crazy now. I love those cars, and I would love to get one someday, but they're kind of just astronomically expensive right now for what they are. So that's I guess that's a bit of an overview on the Mark IV Jetta platform. So this car's been super reliable for me for the last 6 months. If you've been watching the channel, you know how much preventative maintenance I've done on it, and I'll talk about that when I take it for a drive. But pretty much nothing really unexpected has gone wrong on it. Like I said, 20-year-old German quirkiness. It's pretty plasticky inside. A lot of the plastic is kind of old and tired, so it is kind of a little bit rattly, but other than that, it's comfortable enough to drive on my hour commute every day, and I get 50 miles to the gallon, so I absolutely love it. So with that being said, let's do what this car does best, and we'll take it for a little drive, and I'll talk about all the work I've done and what my plans are going forward with it. So I talked about the driving dynamics in my first video on this car, and they definitely remain true, but like I said before, this is definitely the most mechanically sorted Mark IV I've ever had, which feels awesome. It honestly feels like a new 20-year-old car, which kind of goes back to what I said before, that if you can handle the 20-year-old German quirkiness, and you're willing to do this work, they're kind of a great value, especially for the 50 miles per gallon if you're going to use it as a commuter car. But the work I did to it, if you haven't watched all my videos or whatever, I had a bad wheel bearing which spanned the entire endeavor, but I replaced both the front wheel bearings, both the front ball joints, both the front CV axles, sway bar end links, sway bar bushings, control arm bushings. I did new 4 Bilstein touring struts at all 4 corners, H&R touring springs, some Powerflex poly top mounts for the shocks or springs, for the whole strut assembly. And I flushed the gear oil. I have the stuff at home to do the brake, flush the brake fluid, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I've done a ton of mechanical maintenance to the car, and it definitely feels like a new car based from when I first got it. It was a little bit sloppy. The new tie rod ends, I don't know if I said that before, but they made a huge difference. Where before there was a lot of play in the steering, and now it's like super like sharp and direct, almost like a German car should be. Like, honestly, I've never had one of these that has had brand new or 100% accurate tie rod ends, and it kind of feels like a BMW steering. Overall, the Mark IV is still one of my favorite cars I've ever had. I think I put it at like a close tie between the Mark IV and my Cayman. I just love the playful, like throwable, fun to drive character it has, and then I don't know, it just has a great feeling. Can't really surprise it for such a simple car. It just, like, everything is done right as far as the driving dynamics go. So overall, I've been really happy with this car for the first 6 months I've had it. It's been really reliable. It's got great fuel economy. I have put a decent amount of work into it, but I think I'll get out of it what I put into it as far as the longevity of these cars. The ALH is still probably my favorite engine I've ever had. It's notorious for going crazy amounts of miles, so I have no problem or no doubt that this car will make it to 300,000 plus miles. I'm at 336 or 236 right now, so I have no doubt it will make it there and probably far beyond. We'll see how long my attention span lasts for this car, but I absolutely love these Mark IVs, so I would feel like something was missing if I didn't have one of these in my garage. So I hope you guys, as always, have liked this video. And if you really liked it, then go ahead and like and subscribe so you can see more content on more of my wagons. Hopefully soon I'll be moving into the interior and exterior restoration, the aesthetic restoration of this car. So stay tuned for that. All right, hope you guys have a good weekend, and thanks for watching. Bye.